Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Under the Silver Lake. From the dazzling imagination that brought you It Follows, Under the Silver Lake stars Andrew Garfield and Riley Keough in a delirious fever dream about one man's search for the truth behind the mysterious crimes, murders, and disappearance in his East LA neighborhood. This is a 2019 film. It is rated R, and it does run over 2 hours. This is 139 minutes. It stars the guy on the front cover, that's Andrew Garfield, and Riley Keough, and it also stars, um, sorry, this label has to be on top of it. This has a good cast. It stars some other people that you will be surprised to see in it. It just kind of adds people and adds people. It's very much a fluid cast that is all, I would say they're all known. So just give it a shot. The cast is really good. So this is Under the Silver Lake. Well, I never heard of this movie before. I try to actively seek out when something comes across my path too, but I do seek out Andrew Garfield. I think he is one of the better Spider-Mans. I think when he did the Facebook movie Social Network, it was just blew my mind, for how people can do a movie. I think that was one of the life-changing movies of my life. And so Andrew Garfield is always going to be kind of a staple actor in my lifetime. If he keeps doing things like Social Network and Spider-Man and this, he's just going to be one of the signature people in my life to affect my view of movies. And this is another home run in my book. Andrew Garfield plays this guy. He's a little eccentric, and while not having much money, and he lives in LA, and he happens to find his way to the scenes in town. So, as he goes about his life, he is with that girl and with that girl, and things start to happen with this one girl that he kind of connects with more on a friendly basis. Like he wants to maybe sleep with her, but it doesn't get to that point. So it kind of drives him crazy, that maybe things might work out with this girl. So he hears about something happening to her. So he goes on a journey to kind of find out what happened to her. And along the way, while he's doing that, he is kind of connecting with this some conspiracy theories and some other things, and it just turns into a real heavy mystery adventure. There's lots of nudity. There's minimal language. I didn't think there was that much language. I don't remember much. I watched it last night. It doesn't strike me as being a heavy language movie. There's just a lot of stuff going on in it. And so it's very much, credible to its rating of R, but it's so darn interesting that I don't think you'll be affected by the other stuff too much. Um, the one warning I would say with this, if you're gonna watch it, if you're gonna seek it out, I do suggest obviously watching it, but there's the nudity. I guess maybe overwhelms your want of watching this movie and wanting to just enjoy yourself. Maybe there's a little bit too much, activity going on for you. It didn't bother me. It just seemed very apparent. So that's my one warning, I guess. But I cannot give anything away with this movie because I want people to watch it. I want people to experience it like I did. Just don't know what's going on when you watch it. Try and go into it fresh like I did. It's an amazing mystery. It's an amazing adventure. I think this is a lot, a lot better than Get Out. I don't know why people like that movie. I don't know why people like the movie Us. This is 10 times creepier and 10 times more interesting. And it did not get, any kind of coverage like those two stupid movies got. I kind of liked Get Out, but I hated Us. And I love this movie. I think this is what, creepy, interesting needs to be. This is the definition of it. This is more of an adventure, more of a mystery like Clue, but it's, more of a sci fi kind of creepy. So, obviously, Andrew Garfield is the reason to watch this. The direction that the movie makers make, everything makes sense. Everything gets explained. You don't need to worry about that. It's not like a movie that brings you into an area and just leaves you there. It explains everything. So that's why I really like it. And I do have this movie up here somewhere called Crimson Peak. I would compare Crimson Peak to Under the Silver Lake because the first time you're watching it, you just don't know what's going on. You have no idea. So the second time I watch Under the Silver Lake, in a couple months or something, maybe I'll know what's coming, but it'll still be really interesting. It'll be still really fascinating. And Crimson Peak is kind of like that. That's why I like that movie. It was, maybe not so scary for everybody, and maybe not everybody thought it was a complete mystery. Maybe some people knew what was going on, but I was just amazed by watching it the first time. I think that was in theater though, and this is here at home for this movie. But it's the same kind of feeling. It's those kind of movies that have their own mystery, and people aren't hearing about the movie. And so when I watch it, it's just blows my mind. That nobody's ever heard of this movie, nobody's ever watched this movie, and you need to seek it out. You need to watch it, and it should be streamlined for the general public, but I don't think it was. So totally seek this out. Totally give it a watch. Follow Andrew Garfield and his amazing ability to be an actor, and this has a good cast too, and the side characters all get into their characters, and the way that this movie progresses, it's always adding things and coming back to something, and adding things and coming back to something. And if you can understand it throughout the way, maybe you're talking to the movie because you're so enthralled with it. Maybe you're, confused by a couple things, but it explains it later. The ending is left open to a little bit of interpretation, but I think it is fairly obvious if you just, kind of think about it for a second. So I'm gonna give Under the Silver Lake an A plus. I hope you give it a chance. I hope you can stomach some of the things in it so that you can make it all the way through and appreciate it for what it is. I don't understand why people wouldn't like this. It's just a great, great movie, and it needs to be appreciated. Give Under the Silver Lake a try. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get some of them watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies. Give this movie a try. Seriously.